Good evening, Cena streamers, and welcome to the 2024 All Saints Wake event in Final Fantasy XIV. This will be my complete event playthrough. We're going to do the quest, explore the area, and check out the exclusive goodies to be got. Let's waste no time, let's get started. We're going to begin right out here with our good man, the All Saints Wake Crier. For anyone unfamiliar with the event, he'll give us some information. Hello there, Pumpkin! Enjoying the festivities, I hope. If there's anything you'd like to know, just ask away. Alright, who are you? We're a terrific troop raised under the auspices of the Pumpkin-Headed Lady. With us at the helm, All Saints Wake is set to be a fright-filled fest for all and sundry. We've prepared all manner of exciting events that are guaranteed to delight and affright, so why not take a brief respite from the daily grind of adventuring and join in the festivities? Tell me more about All Saints Wake. Legend has it that once a year, the 12 honor the saints by hosting a lavish feast in the heavens. While the saints are away, however, the realm is bereft of their divine protection, and creatures of darkness come out in droves. Fearing for their lives, the people took to shutting themselves inside their homes. Those who had no choice but to venture outside disguised themselves as fiends in hopes that they would go unnoticed by the real ones. Frightening business, isn't it? But that's all in the past now, for these days we have valorous adventurers like yourself to keep our city safe when the saints are away. Having no more reason to be afraid, the people went and turned All Saints Wake into a fun celebration. A truly delightful state of affairs. Well, thank you so much for that, dear Crier. So, at a glance, we don't have anybody else out here who is new or visiting for the event, so we will head inside and see what other goodies await. We have a bespectacled peddler. Are you actually wearing glasses? You have a monocle. That's a little different. But this is where you can get the seasonal event exclusive items. You don't even have to do the quest to have access to these. There are flying pumpkins, a household item. Can be placed on tabletops or on floors for 2,000 gil each. I'll be picking up a few of those just now. You can also get a confetti item, which is pumpkin, which I believe I have quite a few of, but let's grab one here just to demonstrate what it does. It gives you a nice big pumpkin head complete with scuttling, chirping bat effect. It lasts for several seconds and then disperses. It's very fun. If you have space to store confetti for little goofy moments, I highly recommend doing so. Alright, so we're here in Gridania, of course. This is the usual location for All Saints Wake. I failed to mention at the beginning. At the Miketo Amphitheater, they always deck the place out. It's great. It's so spooky. It looks even better at night, although that doesn't record very well. So, many blessings upon the nice weather. Hello, pumpkin-headed apparition. What is this year's chore? Task? Adventure? The Aether-starved Ahriman. The pumpkin-headed apparition is on the lookout for an able adventurer. This quest is available for a limited time only, of course.
It's been more than a few moons since last we met, friend. As it so happens, I have a proposition suited to your talents. Are you prepared to throw caution to the wind and consort with fiends most foul once again?
Wouldn't be here otherwise.
Of course you are. But before we get to the heart of the matter, let us reflect upon the history of All Saints Wake.
I just checked with the Crier.
On this night do fell fiends emerge to cavort and careen, unconcerned with the judgments of those on high. For the halls of the saints' heavenly abode ring with merriment as the wine flows freely, and no one can be bothered to look down. Thus did gods-fearing folk greet this particular sunset with trepidation, daring not to venture from their homes. No longer. Nay, for adventurers came and drove out the Voidsent, restoring safety to the city streets and marking the occasion as one of jubilation. That's all well and good, but what of the poor forsaken fiends? Are they too not deserving of revelry? My wish is to see All Saints' Wake reborn as a celebration for all, be they ghost, ghoul, Gridanian, or otherwise. And how do I propose to accomplish this feat? Binding obligations, friend. I've convinced the more sinister sorts to enter into contracts which forbid them from preying on mortals. In exchange, they are permitted to partake in the festivities. But there's one troubled soul who still seems incapable of getting into the spirit of things. Perhaps you would be willing to give them a helping hand? Nothing too devilishly difficult, I promise. Before you get started, you'll want to get a grasp of the particulars by speaking with Papa Gruff. He ought to be performing one of his shows by the entrance to the Great Loam Growery. Now go. I shall be watching your performance with great interest.
Alright, to the Great Loam Growery, was it?
Seek out Papa Gruff near the entrance to the Great Loam Growery. I dare say you'll find him in the midst of one of his performances. And remember, I shall be watching.
Wonderful. So the Great Loam Growery is the Botanist Guild. Which... do we want to take a shortcut? No, we do not. That is not a shortcut. It is the entrance and not the actual guild. Alright. Papa Gruff. Some kiddos. And a man with neon yellow hair. Sir, are you an import from Solution 9, perhaps? Although it pains me so, our humble performance must draw to a close. Let us then end things on a high note. Ladies and gentlemen, I bid you feast your eyes on the fantastic Philcox and his transformation magics.
What was that all about? The clowning and whatnot was a right laugh, but that last bit was bleeding rubbish. Come on, let's get out of here. Okay. Once more, you fail to muster up even an ounce of magical prowess. If I had the crowd in the palm of my hand, we'd have been the toast of the town if not for your blunder. There you go again, shrieking the same old tune. I've had it up to my eyeball with this farce. Just because you know a few cheap tricks doesn't give you the right to treat me like that. I can't stand the sight of you, let alone the thought of taking to the stage with you again. Good riddance.
Hi, Gruff. Well, fate has conspired for us to cross paths once again. Out with it, then. I know you're not here to swap pleasantries. Well, of course not. The pumpkin-headed lady sent me over. A foul fiend failing to get into the spirit of All Saints' Wake. I'd wager you speak of Philcox, the fellow who stormed off in a hurry. Or huff. Like most of our ilk, Philcox and I have an insatiable appetite for ether. But unlike your garden variety Voidsent, who hunt hapless mortals like beasts, we prefer to sate our hunger with their enthusiastic approval. I tell you, there's no ether as delectable as you'll find in food gifted in genuine appreciation. Which set me to thinking. Perhaps preying on mortals was an old-fashioned and misguided approach. Thus did I commit to giving folk the sort of frights that dazzle and delight, winning hearts and minds, and in the process no small number of ether-laden delicacies. And what better occasion for such terrifying amusements as All Saints' Wake? This method is catching, too. Many voids that now seek ether in this manner. Philcox is one such reformed individual. When I first laid eyes upon him, I sensed promise. But get him in front of a crowd, and you're lucky to get a smattering of half-hearted applause, let alone a few measly crumbs. You'd be better off hearing it from the Ahriman's mouth, though. He can't have gotten far. Alright. Our new All Saints Wake charge is Philcox the Ahriman. Sir? Hello? You doing okay over here, buddy?
That sniveling whelp of an imp. Magic's this, magic's that. The sheer unbridled cheek of it.
You good, buddy? Philcox is practically frothing at the mouth. So incensed is he by his treatment at the hands of Papa Gruff. You must soothe him before attempting to start a conversation. Very well, then soothe him we shall. Hey buddy, hey, chill, calm down.
Apologies. I had taken leave of my senses. Your timely intervention is much appreciated. Wait. By the look of you, I'd say you're an adventurer. Let me guess. That pumpkin-headed lady sent you to check up on me, did she?
She did.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you my tale. Try as I might, I just can't get the hang of transformation magics, and without the means to delight the crowds, we're starved for appreciation. I'm an Ahriman, paralyzing prey with this big eye of mine, not a problem. Turning them to stone with a petrifying glare, a trifling task. Hells, I can even smell despair and all manner of negative emotions in the people around me. Obviously, paralysis and petrification won't win over an audience, and my metaphorical nose for despair isn't going to put ether on the table either. I ought to just tell that pumpkin-headed lady I'm not cut out for this business. If you're here at her behest, you'd better come along too.
You're giving up that easy? My man. I assume that takes us back to the... Yeah, we're gonna take a shortcut. You can walk. I'm a touch of crystal.
Yahoo!
We don't have anybody here just yet. Oh, and this is the check mark, so we got a two-parter, it looks like. Philcox?
That about sums it up. I gave it my all and have naught to show for it, which is to say, I've come to the conclusion that I will never be an entertainer.
Aw, well, that's a fairly level-headed report, but I still think you're giving up too early.
I gather you had a hand in Philcox's decision to lay bare his thoughts and feelings. Not that it did any good. I'm still stuck at square one, underappreciated and underfed. Such a curious child. Are you truly so blind to your own potential? Huh? No doubt you have an inkling as to what I speak of. Pray, share your wisdom with Philcox.
You can smell dark emotions. Use your gift to help those in need. Stamp out any negativity you sense with the common folk. Alright, yeah, Naya would take the gentler approach.
Well, you'd be hard-pressed to find a voidsent who'd suggest that. I don't see how helping others helps me. But then again, I know little of mortal ways, so perhaps I should heed your advice. Ah, wait. I see the logic in it now. What better way to make use of my talents and knock that pompous Papa Gruff right off his pedestal? No. I'm getting ahead of myself. I've no idea where to start. Perhaps I can lend a hand with a little sleight of hand. Hold still.
Trip check. Seems a missed opportunity to put him in green. Since, his hair. Or maybe yellow. It's that in-between color.
Not only is that getup guaranteed to turn heads, each and every thread is imbued with a potent magic to aid in your newfound purpose. Oh, I think I can feel it. Maybe this isn't going to be so tough after all.
There you are. I had thought to apologize for my harsh words earlier, since our act was my initiative and therefore our success, or lack thereof, was ultimately my responsibility. But I sense that you've been scheming.
It pleases me to inform you, Papa Gruff, that I've found a way to win over mortals on my own terms.
I find that hard to believe, but since you seem so confident, why don't we have ourselves a contest?
Huh?
Whoever garners the most affection, and thereby the largest share of ether-rich victuals, wins. And to the victor go the spoils of subservience. The loser will be bound to obey their every whim. How does that sound?
You're on. I hope you're ready to bow and scrape.
Okay, is this alright? That mortal epithet about one's bark being worse than one's bite comes to mind. Prepare yourself, Philcox. I know I've got this marvelous magic outfit, but I'm still not entirely convinced I have what it takes to beat Papa Gruff on my own. Come with me, just until I get the hang of things. That's all I ask. I did sign up to help, yes.
Very well. I shall leave Philcox in your capable hands.
You can count on me.
Yes!
The Aether-starved Ahriman. So that's the end of part 1. What do you have to say now, milady?
I trust you will do everything in your power to assist Philcox in his endeavors.
Yup. Alright, buddy. All fiends sated on All Saints' Wake. After a nudge in the right direction, Philcox is ready to embark on his mission. This is the one that gives us the new outfit. The Knight of Double Reset. Very fun.
How about we try and find a troubled soul in need of aid? But let's get out of here first.
Wonderful. Anything different to say? No, that's the same as she said before. Okay. Philcox, where'd you go? Back toward the Great Loam Brewery? My friend, there is so much more to this place. There's nobody who snuck out new over there, right? I don't think so. They don't usually till the end, but after the Rising event pulled a fast one on us and dropped NPCs all over the city, I have some trust issues, one might say.
Right. Time to look for folk harboring negative feelings. Give me a moment.
Are they in my hips?
I don't know if it has anything to do with that pumpkin-headed lady's enchantment, but my powers feel more potent than ever. I've already found someone, and whoever they are, they're awfully flustered. They're to the northeast, I think, though I'm not sure where exactly. The road here can be confusing. Truth be told, this is my first time in the city. I've got a decent sense of direction, but I've yet to grasp the lay of the land. Could I trouble you to lead the way?
Northeast, you said.
Our flustered target is northeast of here. I'll be right behind you.
Oh, Philcox is now accompanying you. Alright. Conversation points. Yeah. Let's see what he has to say to begin with.
Say, did I tell you that Philcox is just an alias? The pumpkin-headed lady suggested I use it to better engage with you mortals. My real name is actually... what does it matter? It's not like we'll see each other again when this is over and done with.
Oh, silly sir. Oh, silly sir. I'm sure we might just peep you again next year. Maybe we'll learn his real name next year. If he doesn't tell us later today. Conversation point. Oh.
That clown was amazing.
Turning a pumpkin into a little pup. Whatever will they think of next?
Woof, woof.
I think that's what she said anyway. Oh, you don't feel like repeating your dialogue? Okay. What about you? Discuss the delighted women.
Ah, such glee. They mentioned a clown. I'd wager they've just had the, privilege of seeing one of Papa Gruff's performances. Listen, I'll be the first to admit that he's an expert illusionist, and you've only got to look at folk like these ladies to see that he knows how to work a crowd. But I won't be upstaged. I'll prove there's more than one way to win over an audience, by following your timely advice, that is. Given the delight written on their faces, our opponent must have earned himself some sustenance, which means we've no time to lose. Onward!
Alright. Whatever will they do next? Ah, that's what they said. Alright. Thank you for repeating yourself, ladies. Oh, it looks like night's about to fall. Things are about to get much harder to see unless they're glowing. A flustered fellow. And what has you flustered, sir?
Oh, gods! Where has she gotten to?
Ah, this must be the fellow my senses were leading me to. Shall we find out what ails him?
That is why we're here.
You, there. What's gotten you so worked up?
Forgive me. There was this poor little girl who'd been separated from her mother. I was helping her to look, but she suddenly disappeared. I can't simply abandon her, but then again, I have an urgent personal matter to attend to, and I don't know what to do.
In that case, why don't I and my associate look for the girl, and you can see to your affairs without worry.
Thank you, thank you. She's a young lass dressed in blue. I hope you're able to find her forthwith.
Alright, trusting fellow.
He certainly was appreciative, yet here I am empty-handed. Forget the food. We have a lost child to find.
Yes, we do.
I'm detecting a despairing presence to the east of here. Odds are it's the girl, which means I have need of your navigational new once again. After you.
Alright, do you have anything new to say? Yes, no, that's the same. Alright. let's go find a girl. Where are we going? Ah, I see. Oh, Papa Gruff beat us to her. Hey man, what's up?
I should have known you'd turn up sooner or later.
Uh-huh.
I thought this would be a fine opportunity to accrue some appreciation, but the poor girl is beside herself. She keeps calling out for her mama. Might I enlist your help?
This must be the lost lass we've been looking for. If we want to earn her thanks, we'll need to reunite her with her mother, wouldn't you say?
Yeah?
Which means we now have a lady to locate. Any suggestions?
Yeah, use your senses to search for someone feeling anxious. Or why don't you try coming up with an idea yourself? Or say nothing. We'll be gently encouraging. Let's ask a leading question. Why don't you try thinking of something, Philcox? What do you think will work?
I know I can't keep relying on you, but just thinking about having to think for myself is making me anxious. Ha! That's it! Anxiety. That's how one would feel having misplaced their offspring, right? Then that's the emotion I need to find. Found her. I don't know which is the bigger boon, having you by my side or this fancy finery. I think I've learned my way around the city, more or less. I'll handle this next part on my own. Wait here. I'll be back with the girl's mother in no time.
Okay, see you in a few.
My girl. 'Twill be praised you're safe. You have my eternal gratitude.
Thanks for finding Mama, mister. Do you believe me now, Papa Gruff? Sweet, sweet appreciation, and all courtesy of my special talent.
I can't help but notice they didn't offer you anything edible by way of thanks. For my part, I've already been rewarded with a tasty morsel. That said, the gift of food is far from guaranteed. Indeed, perseverance is key, which is why I find myself performing show after show. I suggest you approach this contest with the same tenacity, Philcox.
I'm afraid he's right. Constant effort is key. Luckily, I sensed another troubled soul while I was tracking down the girl's mother. I'd better see what I can do to help. You know, I think I'm ready to go it alone now. Why don't you let our pumpkin-headed benefactor know? I'll come and find you when I'm done. Okay.
Well, I'm afraid my next performance calls. Until we meet again, adventurer.
Okay.
Alright, so that should take us right back to the amphitheater. Got our lovely little check mark over there. Still nobody new showed up over here? Okay, okay. These fiends of yours, ma'am. They're some silly boys.
The adventurer returns, and at the precise moment I predicted. I do hope keeping Philcox company wasn't too taxing. What of our fiend and his endeavors?
He came into his own. Just with a little help and guidance, as you well know.
You have my thanks, truly. Ah, speak of the devils. Here they come.
Dear, oh dear, that turned out to be a damn sight harder than I'd anticipated. And all I have to show for my travails is a single cookie. To think the first gift I'd receive would prove to be the last. Curses, I didn't receive so much as a crumb. I suppose this means you win. Very well, I am yours to command, Papa Gruff.
You admit defeat far too readily, Philcox.
Eh?
Hi. Hooray! We found you. I wanted to thank you properly for helping me and Mama. I brought you a pumpkin cookie.
That's yours.
Simply scrumptious.
Okay, it wasn't quite as ridiculous as Papa Gruff's first cookie, but still good. Come back to us, Philcox. Don't act like you didn't have the same reaction.
I'm glad you like it. Farewell.
Thank you again.
That makes it one apiece. A draw, then. Still, Philcox, while you had some assistance along the way, you've nevertheless done yourself proud. To think I'd live to see the day Papa Gruff sings my praises. Awfully kind of you to finally admit that I might have worth.
Is that all you desire? My begrudging acceptance? Have you forgotten your reasons for joining in the festivities in the first place?
Of course I haven't. The good people of Gridania are still in need of my help. And where there are common folk in need, there are cookies to be freed and given to me. Adventurer, I had better get going. But before I do, let me say this. I might have found a way to make the most of my talents, but I wouldn't have been able to do so without you and the pumpkin-headed lady. I'm sure we'll run into each other again one of these days. Till then.
Oh, so we went from, that's not my real name, but it doesn't matter because you'll never see me again, to, maybe we will. That's cute.
The promise I sensed in Philcox when he and I first met wasn't illusory after all. I should take my leave too. 'Twould be remiss of me to allow him to garner all the glory, to say nothing of the cookies.
I love it. They're
the cookies. I'd say those two fiends ended up having themselves a frightfully fun-filled All Saints Wake. Wouldn't you agree? And for your part in this, a fitting reward. I present to you a set of finery. as worn by Gridania's most emotionally perceptive Ahriman.
My own duds?
Ah, perhaps you wonder if your outfit is endowed with the same enchantment? You needn't worry. There never was an enchantment. That little charade was my way of giving Philcox the confidence he so sorely lacked. Although, I dare say such a measure was unnecessary, given he had you to cheer him on. Ah, before I forget, you are hereby cordially invited to my humble abode for a get-together of sorts. Do drop by. I assure you it will be frightfully entertaining. Anyway, your help is much appreciated. At this rate, my vision of an All Saints' Wake for mortals and void sent alike might not be such a distant prospect. Though I do hope that these shenanigans haven't dulled your enthusiasm for the most occult of occasions.
And there's our outfit reward! Quest complete. You now have access to Sneaky Hollow. Speak with the unusual usher at Miketo's amphitheater to be escorted to the costume party. And that gets us the Little Fiends in Life. A 10-point seasonal achievement. Oh, Papa Gruff's up here! Okay. Let's see. So that was the unusual usher that we just got the notification for. There's also the genial geyser. So we'll get to those. For now, it is environment exploration time. Do these kiddos say anything? I better start working hard to put food on. Uh-oh. Papa Gruff's the greatest clown around. Oh, it's his wife and kid. Lovely. Do the kids up here say anything? It's looking like no. Alright. As you can see, I'm having no trouble earning myself a cookie or two. Now, if you don't mind, I'm in the middle of a show. Do me a favor and go bother Philcox instead. Can I? Is he around? Hard to put food on the table too. Alright. She's just saying she should help out. Namasu!
So this is All Saints' Week? Inspiration for our own festivities, perhaps? Yes, yes. Found food for thought, indeed.
It's from the Stormblood Society quest. These are the 3 main Namasu that you'll work with doing those.
Fascinating.
This is Seigetsu the Enlightened. It's been so long, I forget their names. I remember Seigetsu because the Enlightened, and he's got little squinty eyes, and he's very silly. Alright, anybody else hanging out in here? We've got... I wonder if I've missed any other intriguing details. These look like reporters. But they're twins and they're wearing the werewolf ears? Hold on. This fella's always here, right? Yawn. Yeah. What was that first line? I dare say this will make a fine article. Wonder if I've missed any other intriguing This looks like the same person who just has a clone of herself, which is very odd. Interesting. I'm unsure who that is. Okay. Oh, I see some Guildmasters. We have Serendipity.
What wonderful decorations.
Quite so. Perhaps we could devise costumes to match. Is that what he said? This is Redolent Rose from the Weavers Guild and Serendipity from the Goldsmiths Guild. These folks are always here, always here, always here. This fellow seems rather suspect. Roll up, the show's about to start. So we have one of the Pajal out here scrutinizing our carnival folk. Oh, there's Philcox. The Moogles don't appear to have anything to say. That's fine. I've lost me coin purse, you see. This is the same fellow from earlier. Is that the personal matter you were trying to resolve?
Oh, it's you. I'm definitely starting to get the hang of this whole helping mortals lark. Hells, I think I'm enjoying myself.
Aw, that's so cute. Let's make sure I didn't miss anybody on the other side. Wonderful. Alright, let me see what Redolent rose. It was to match. Wonderful. Oh, we also have, was it Lyngsath from Culinary? A pumpkin-themed menu might prove a hit with the customers. Please do. I did that one year in college for a Halloween party. I just made like 12 different pumpkin-based foods, mostly desserts, but you know. Alright, that takes us out of the event area. Let's poke in real quick, because there's 2 little bonuses to All Saints Wake that you can do here. Obviously, the pumpkin-headed lady gave us an invite to her abode, and to access that, you speak with the unusual usher. Should you wish to visit my master's residence, it would be my pleasure to escort you. This is to the Sneaky Hollow, which is basically a giant, beautiful G-pose space. There's just photo ops set up all over with incredible, fanciful, whimsical decor for your photo-taking pleasure. And it's wonderful. So if you have the time to come in here, glam up, take some pictures, hang out with friends. There's a whole dinner party, again, more like photo situations. It's so good in here. It is so good. And there are little environmental NPCs with tidbits of dialogue. They don't show up if you hide your HUD, of course, but... Oh my, we have a guest!
Look at my pumpkins! My wonderful pumpkins! Come to see the pumpkin patch. It really is a nice patch.
So there's lots to do, see, explore, and read in here. I will not be covering this entire area, but I will also check into the pumpkin-headed apparition. She did invite us after all.
You wish to have words? Very well. What would you know?
What is this place?
Is your memory as fleeting as your lifespan, child? As I told you before, this is my home. You are welcome to come and go as you please.
And you are?
You need ask. My head is not merely for show. I am the Archfiend, feared and revered since time immemorial. The Great Gord, who once led legions of darkness, is in fact merely a title held by those in my coven. Each generation, the knowledge to control denizens of the void is passed down alongside the appellation.
And what do you do, exactly?
I watch. My ancestors once bound the void sent to their will as a means to wage war, and caused irreparable harm to the world in so doing. Remorseful for their actions, they swore to never be complicit in such a tragedy again. We have watched ever since. Our goal is not to harm the minions of darkness, but to educate them, show them that peace is an option. But I have spoken enough. I had not realized entertaining a guest could be quite so thrilling.
So she has that lovely little chat with you, and then we have these 3 imps over here. And these, you know, in case the space and your character and outfit and costume wasn't enough and all the little NPCs to run into and hear their dialogue, these imps allow you to cast glamours on yourself.
Up to something? Me? Never. I am but a fun-loving imp, here to help my fellow revelers enjoy the wake. And I can fashion you a very convincing guise for the masquerade. All I need is for you to recall a journey unforgettable. Traverse your memories, and tell me what you see.
And then each of these basically contains submenus for your expansions. So, a journey to end a conflict of 1,000 years. This references Heavensward. A journey to forge this realm anew. This references A Realm Reborn. So, if we check the A Realm Reborn menu, good. Now, think of someone remarkable you encountered in that time. Someone powerful. Yes, that's it. And then you get a list of a bunch of characters from A Realm Reborn that you can choose and transform into. So, a formidable Rogadin man recognized for his tactical brilliance gives us, I believe, Raban.
This will do nicely. Don't worry, this won't hurt much at all. Just close your eyes.
The transfiguration can be removed by using the Unveil action, or by canceling the transfiguration status effect. Oh! Okay, I'm Redolent. I thought I'd get taller. He's quite short, as it turns out. That's funny. But yeah, so I have my hotbars hidden, so I can't use the action there, but they said by canceling, so mouse and keyboard, you can right-click that, and boom! Naya's back. So, the other imps here, this has a Realm Reborn Heavensward, this one will probably have Stormblood and Shadowbringers, and I imagine this guy will have Endwalker and Dawntrail. They all have the same dialogue. Oh, it's only Endwalker. Interesting. Okay. No Dawntrail list yet. That is surprising to me. But so this is the, what was it called? The Sneaky Hollow. There is another little area over there, a little graveyard. So hopefully you can find the time to come in here and enjoy yourself. Have a little photo sesh. See if you can find all of the different little environmental NPCs and their quirky little dialogue. And how convenient, we have a genial geyser right here. The haunted manor is now accepting guests for the marvelous masquerade. Shall I escort you to the front door? Yes, please. In addition to this little instance area full of very cool G-Post spots, there is the haunted manor, which is a hawk manor, but not threatening, not a dungeon. And you can come in here. It's also full of very cool little spaces that you can take very cute pictures. Ooh! And NPCs guiding you around, a little dialogue. And the same set of imps should be right in here so that you can walk around in somebody else's skin should you so choose. Now this one is an older instance compared to the Sneaky Hollow. There used to be little mini games that certain seasonal events would run in here, which were quite fun. I loved the trick-or-treating ones where you'd come in with a light party and try to find candy and clues and disarm traps in a time limit. It was very fun. But for now, they let us come in and play and still take pictures and explore, which is wonderful. So I obviously am a little more enchanted by the Sneaky Hollow because of just it's newer. It's got more effort put into it, I feel. But both of these are super worth coming in, checking around, taking some pictures. Oh, well, that's not where I meant to go. You can go between the two spaces, which is lovely. But that concludes our little exploration of the 2 bonus areas that are available during All Saints Wake. There's, of course, lots of decorations in all of the main starting cities as well to enjoy. But I believe that concludes this playthrough for the All Saints Wake event for 2024. Let's check one last time with the vendor to make sure nothing else got added. Indeed, nothing else got added. We have pumpkin confetti and flying pumpkin housing items. Very well. Okay, I did not expect the Namasu. I did not expect these guys to be here. That's very funny. But, that said, good evening, Cena streamers. Till next time.